welcome to my bookshelf, and today is day 6 in the 7 days of summer. This video series idea came from That Bookie, and I will link her original video in the description below, so go check it out. But this is just a fun video series where we're given a prompt for each day of this week, and we get to share our picks with you. And today's prompt is 7 books you want to read over the summer. So this is kind of like a summer TBR, if you will. So here are my picks. The first one is The Princess Bride by William Goldman. Now, I've seen this movie many times and I absolutely love it, but I've never actually read the book, which is why I got the book in the first place, but it's been sitting on my shelf for a long time and I just want to read it. I'm just so excited to see if this book at all lives up to the movie that I love so much, or if it's just kind of its own thing and maybe it's good in its own right. I don't know. I haven't heard much about this book at all, so I don't even know if it's anything like the movie or if it's just like the same in name only. I don't really know, and so I'm really excited to finally pick it up because it is one of my favorite movies, and it would be a shame if I've never read the book. I feel like summer is the perfect time for adventure, so that's why this is on my summer to read list. Alright, the next book that I want to read this summer is Wildflower by Drew Barrymore. Now, this is her memoir, and I think that this is very appropriate for the summer, considering the title is Wildflower, and she's jumping for joy in a sundress. It definitely has a very summery vibe to me. It should be a pretty fun and easy read, so that also makes it a perfect book for the summer. And again, this is one of those books that I was really excited about, and I bought the book, but I have yet to read it. That's kind of a trend that you're going to see here. There's a lot of books that I find really exciting and I just have to have them, but then the sad thing is I tend to just kind of waste away on my shelf, which is why I started this channel in the first place, so I can finally go through my shelf and read these books I've been meaning to read this whole time. So, I'm excited for this one. I love memoirs and I love Drew Barrymore, so I'm assuming if you put them together, it'll be something good. Alright. The next book that I want to read this summer is A Cure for Suicide by Jessie Ball. Now, I had never heard of this book before, and I still have yet to see anyone talk about this as of yet. That doesn't mean no one has, I just haven't seen it, which isn't really saying that much. There's a lot of videos out there. But either way, I really don't know that much about it, but it was kind of an impulse buy. I was at this bookstore, and the cover grabbed my attention because it is kind of like jarring to look at, so I apologize if it's kind of weird for you. But it just sounds really interesting. So it sounds like it could be some sort of dystopian. There's this village, these people move there, things happen. I don't know. And then when I was looking at it, it's just set up weird. Like the writing in it, there's just like a bunch of dashes, and I'm just really curious about the format. I'm not really sure what kind of book this is supposed to be, but it sounds mysterious and intriguing, and those things are definitely right on my alley, and so I was so intrigued that I bought it right there on the spot, but the sad thing is, again, that it just sat on my shelf, so I think it's time to finally read it. I definitely want to know if this is worthwhile, and if it is, I need to tell people about it, right? And on top of it, this is supposedly compared to The Handmaid's Tale, which I've heard good things about that book, so if it is anything like that, this should be a good book as well. So another reason why I definitely want to pick it up sooner versus later. Okay, the next book that I want to read this summer is Life After Life by Kate Atkinson. All I know about this book is that there's something about living over and over again until you get it right. That's kind of what the back is implying. That in and of itself is an interesting premise, but I also wanted to read this summer because I've never read any books by Kate Atkinson, but I see a lot of her books around and they seem to be very popular, so just really excited to kind of jump on the bandwagon and at least read it to see if I'm a big fan of hers or not. All the summaries of her books that I've read so far are all very interesting, and they're all up my alley as books that I, in theory, should like. So I'm really excited to finally read one of her books and to actually see if we do jive as author and reader. Alright, the next book that I want to read sooner versus later is Brit Was Here by Frederick Bachman. Now, this is another case of I've heard lots of great things about this author, but I haven't actually read any of their books. And first off, I love the covers of his books. They're always really cool looking. And this is just another beautiful example. So I had never read any of his books, and I've heard lots of good things about A Man Called Ove, but I haven't read it. So when I saw it at Goodwill, I realized that this was a perfect opportunity to finally read one of his books. So I'm excited to pick this up. And it's got a lot of bright colors on the cover, which, you know, perfect for summer. Alright, and the last book that I want to read this summer, and actually probably like next month, we'll see, is Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Now, if you've been watching my channel, I've been talking about this a lot because I recently hauled it, and I'm just really excited about this. All I know is that it's science fiction, and it's told in an unusual way through like IMs, text, confidential files, things like that. So it's going to be a really fast read, even though it's a very large book. It just sounds like the perfect book for summer, and it's supposed to be really good, and I definitely want a really good, different book to read. I feel like summer is the perfect time to read blockbuster books, as I like to call them, you know, books that would be turned into just epic movies, and this feels like it would be one of those. I'll have to read it and find out, but yeah, I'm just really excited to finally find out what this book is about. So I'm definitely going to read this summer. Today's challenge was definitely a lot easier than some of the other challenges. I mean, pretty much everything that you see on my bookshelves are books that I want to read. At some point, it was pretty easy to pick out the ones that I've been just dying to read for a long time. I definitely have a lot of those. This was kind of fun to share with you some of the books I've been meaning to read. I'm excited for this summer, and I'm really excited to read all these books this summer, and I'm also interested to see what your picks are going to be for the summer. So I'll be looking forward to watching those videos. But this video is over, so thank you for watching, and until next time.